All right. If everything sounds good, there's a decent amount of music and ambiance in the background. Why don't we get going? Now, tonight's exercise, there's really only one thing that I wanted to feature tonight. And we can probably get it done within the course of an hour or so. Now, if you do this at home and weren't broadcasting to people and saying hi and offering conversation and instruction, you could knock this out sooner than an hour. But as our workshops go, we try and we try and keep it in hour chunks. If it goes a little longer, it goes a little longer. If not, then cool. Well, we did what we came here to do. We lived, we laughed, we loved. We are bearing xenomorph embryos within us, and the circle of life. As things go on from there. Also, hi, Led Snap, and I'm sorry, I think that you arrived during the break screen. Now, last night, I was going to bring attention to this part of the book in the Game Mothers section, starting in on 326. And it's there. It's here for you to read. But last night, we actually we had a good RP moment that was out of character. Because you know what? In the grand scheme of things, talking about role-playing games, these kinds of human moments and connections happen. Now, not that we can't talk about it, but if you are unfamiliar with what happened in the second half of our workshop last night, and it's not bad, it's not drama. It's not going to end up on a cringe compilation or something. It was a very good conversation, a very good talk, and a topic that it did bleed over a little bit in wholesome ways into our Discord. So you might have caught a little bit of it. Anyway, there's tools for you in this book. You might recall the Dungeon Master's Guide, as many of us have initially met over Dungeons and Dragons. And in that book, there are all kinds of treasure generation tables, location generators, dungeon generators, and you're going to find a similar list of prompts and just ways for you to quickly access what you may need on the fly as you're flying through space. If you need ideas to run a thematic campaign around colonists, space truckers, or colonial marines, you might notice that they've mentioned that it once or twice already in the book, because they do want to back that up. They do want to reinforce, hey, here's some core methods of play, and if you stray from that or fuse them together, go right ahead. But it's all here in the 320s and beyond in your Alien RPG books. You're allowed to play at home with this if you have the book in physical form or a PDF. I encourage you to read through it. Just like everything else, it is neatly laid out, and it has a planet generator. Here's a planet size, talks about atmosphere. And of course, if you are planning something that specifically needs rules or references for a planet with a thin atmosphere, or for something that's toxic or corrosive, it's all here. Do you have to memorize every table in this book? No. If you did, awesome. You are actually one of the very few people who have that ability to do so. I've been role-playing for a very long time, and even in the systems that I have mainly run, I cannot tell you every rule in that book. And so too, if you take a step into a new roleplay system, do not hold yourself to an unreasonable standard of needing to memorize everything. This book is very well laid out and references things in its index or in the table of contents that will help you find what you need quickly if you're unsure of something or need to generate a planet on the fly. And this would, in a sense, if I had more time, I could go through all of this in a series of workshops, and we can create and we can just go through and create all kinds of random elements to make our own little section of the galaxy for this to take place. But it's here. You can roll on it. You know, if we needed a scenario hook for, you know what, I want to run a game tonight, and Alien RPG is pretty easy. My friends picked up pretty well on it. What can I run? And can I have Heretic Trance? Can you roll me 2d6 in chat by typing !! 2d6? Four 3 is 43. A military ship is in orbit and the landing party is searching for someone or something. There you go. There's your prompt for the evening. If you want to do a fun little cinematic scene, or you need another event to occur over the course of your campaign. So Heretic Trance, brilliant idea. I don't know how you came up with it, but in an Alien RPG game, that works out really well. A military ship is in orbit and the landing party is searching for someone or something. That one sentence already has a constriction of movement and resources, a pressure against the players, and a built-in threat. In one sentence, you have the elements you need for tension and even horror. Ba-ba-da-ba-bum. So yes, it is here, and it is easy to access and easy to read. You know, you want to come up with a space trucker scenario? Roll those 2d6 again and find out who is your employer for this run, what are the rewards, where is the destination, and what are the goods that you're trucking through space. What is a complication that occurs over the course of your space trucker mission? Ready to nap? Can you roll 2d6 in chat? ! 2d6. What happens on this space trucker job if we need to come up with some quick content? 43. All right. Another 43. 43 maintenance. A critical part, drive pump, plasma coil, coolant pump, water recycler. There's all sorts of stuff there. Requires replacement before it fails, requiring most of the crew's participation. So, you're trucking along, your engine warning light goes on, which in space, that's not too good. And even though this is Alien RPG, there's nothing that can build tension like an overheating fusion reactor or radiation spilling out and spreading through the ship. That's an evening of fun. Are there xenomorphs? No. Do you have to shoot a gun at something? Not necessarily. I mean, maybe you do. But there you go. It's all right here. You can random your way through these different scenes or through these different missions, and it writes itself. Oops, our oxygen generating algae got sick. Remember, in this workshop, everyone, some channels have OWOs, and we have one uwu in this place. And here is your uwu. But primarily, we feature iwis. It writes itself. Even if you are new to role-playing and running a game as the DM, GM, ST, okay? Not as a player. Many of these books will give you the tools that you can let the process happen and trust yourself to connect the dots. Whether you are a young adult or whether you've been doing this for a long time, your life experiences will still allow you to connect the dots and write this story that needs to be written. Sometimes we just need a little help with it. And in Alien RPG's case, it's right here in the back of the book. You need a plot twist because you're having trouble finding one out for yourself? Roll for it. And then find a way to work it in. Trust yourself. I trust many of you have read books. Whether it is a fantasy novel, an instruction book. You know, it could be a lot of different things. You know, maybe you are into Harlequin romances, and things get a little heated in space. That can be part of it if everyone's down for it at your table. You can still draw on those descriptions, because I'll tell you, those types of books, those will expand your vocabulary in very unique ways. Because a lot of it is painting the scene. A lot of it is window dressing the setting. A lot of it takes you into, not into combat, but, you know, I can't use that. I mean, it works. It's innuendo. It works. But when battle occurs, you know how we go into 6-second rounds and everything just sort of like, we describe every little thing that happens? Those types of books do that. And I mean, if you all are snickering out there, I mean, look, I'm not teaching health class, all right? I'm not going to tell you not to snicker at the slideshow as you know, things happen, but if you want a good example of a type of book that in excruciating detail, I mean, maybe not excruciating, but in detail, gives you the blow by blow of what's happening in any given point in time during an encounter, there you go. But a lot of you have seen movies, cartoons, animes. You've read graphic novels and comic books and such, right? You've played video games. And so you have this intrinsic sense of storytelling, examples from which you can pull in order to try and connect your ideas. Thank you, Awkward Mancer. As an embarrassingly loquacious braggart, I concur. Awkward Mancer, your purple prose is delightful, and I appreciate your girthy vocabulary. Yeah, repackage and yeah, exactly. Zestful, hello. When I saw Alien RPG, I was thinking this sci-fi in general or the Aliens setting. It can be both, but it is name brand Alien, Aliens, etc. But you can just not have an alien and still run a very tense sci-fi game. In fact, a little earlier in the workshop, not tonight, but on another night, I described how you can very easily run Dead Space through Alien RPG. And you can do a lot of other things through it, too. So. And by the way, as Drummer said, there might be combat, you don't know them. Yeah, hey, look. Klingons don't have a word for kiss. The closest thing is bite. I'm just going to leave it at that. And also tell you, because we talked about Deep Space Nine in a prior workshop, there is an episode on Deep Space Nine where a Klingon comes out of a Klingon restaurant and serenades the characters sitting at the table. It is marvelous. Anyway, so that stuff is here. I trust you can look at it. You can roll things randomly, write down the notes, and you play connect the dots. Because your players aren't going to know the difference. They're going to sit down, it's going to be new to them, and they're going to try and figure out what you're presenting to them. Which sometimes can buy you time also for you to figure out what's going on based on their feedback. Heretic says, Shakespeare is so much better in the original Klingon. Klingon Space Dwarf, says Reddy. Dead Space feels like a lot of mental roles, marker influence, and all. Yeah, if you lean into that, there certainly are various psychoses and things that you can indulge in, as well as the critical roll table, the critical hit table that you can roll on in order to have some fun death animations. We'll say. So anyway, what do I mean? What do I mean by distilling the information off the character sheets? As the one who is going to develop the story, what you can do is sit back and say, all right, I asked my friends and family to make a character, and I am going to use that as my prompt to bring them together and present them something fun. Even if fun is a TPK, there's always the ship that can come afterwards to rescue the survivors, only to discover there were none. And the game continues. Oh, very cool, Iron Chef. Well, thank you for lurking then, as lurking while you're working. Now for D&D 5e, I have a worksheet already made up, and I don't have one here for Alien, but that's fine because this is going to be easier to present the concept to you. What I suggest you do, whether you are a DM in D&D, whether you are a game mother, a GM in Alien RPG, whether you are an ST, a storyteller in Vampire the Masquerade, or whatever else there is. I'm sorry to hear, Led. Hopefully you'll be able to get back together and continue on. Is everyone all right? I do like the idea of being in the alien setting, decked out in colonial marine armor, and having one of them flamethrowers or the smart gun. Zestful? Boy, do I have some good news for you. Because the people who made this game absolutely understand that people want to go on a bug hunt as a bunch of space marines. And I promise you that pulse rifles, shotguns, smart guns, all that stuff is there. Power loaders. Let me show you here. Does that look familiar? An APC? Or you know what? Sometimes you got to drop from your orbital ship down to the colony to start your investigation. So, Zestful, I promise you, that stuff is in here. And in fact, there's an entire book that expands the Colonial Marines, their armory, their types of characters you can generate as well. All right, so that's all there for you. Now, what do? Let's get a blank piece of... Yes.
light it burns us.
Let's get a blank piece of paper out and find out what I mean. The beacons of Gondor have been lit. Hi, Urban Zombie. We'll drop in to investigate what is not dead from all the shooting. All you need is a blank piece of paper, and in this kind of meta roleplay, we are back as the GM. Our friends and family have given their sheets back to us, and not as pale as your legs here. Well, but you have that new bathing suit you found. So hopefully, over the course of the summertime here, that'll. Unless they're actually at the point where you just mirror, like you don't even need sunscreen by this point because you mirror the sun right back. So, but what you can do, you lay out the character sheets. In an Alien RPG, they're just one-page character sheets. I have that for foam parties, not the beach. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know if you wanted to go poolside or if you were going to go to the beach or something like that. It makes sense then, especially because you said that you knew where some like industrial goth foam parties were going to be happening. So that makes a lot of sense now. Have foam parties poolside. Problem solved. It's just that easy. Be that person. Don't, by the way. This is not. Do not do this. This is not legal advice. And I do not support nor condone this action. But you can be that person who pours dish soap into the into whatever fountain is in your downtown public square, and has a foam party that way. Then again, please don't do that. But it has been done. I heard rumors. Some very bad person who probably got into trouble, meaning you shouldn't do it, has done that, and it is what it is. Awkward Mancer, industrial goth foam parties. I will let Heretic Trance discuss that with you, as that's slightly out of my realm. I'm just thinking of that one scene. I've got the agility and stealth of a fox. Ugh. So what you can do to measure up your party and to find where they have similarities and differences. Find ways to pull items of interest that will bond or unite your characters in some way. Surely, Maddie's a storyteller. Surely he only knows this person and couldn't be linked to... I assure you, I am not linked to said person. I know of the actions. However, I have no contact nor affiliation. All events are fictitious. No any similarities to real life people or events are purely coincidental. So I think that's what they put in pieces of fiction as a CYA maneuver to avoid things. I don't see why foam fountains are such a problem. I smile every time I see one. Brings small joy to the world, says Urban. I'm just contemplating bringing back my crow army numbers again. Not related, just a hobby, says Reddy. So we have our blank piece of paper, and we also have... Bloop. I can slide this. I'm sliding this away so that we can showcase what I'm talking about here. We have our name. We have our strength, wits, empathy, and agility. This also means that we can measure our health. And this can be important for another reason. And let's make these bigger so that they will present better to you all. There we go. That seems to work. Pardon me. Simple? Nothing too complex, right? Now, we don't have names for the characters. We didn't generate one. But we do know that we have foreman, retiree, reluctant hero. Both of those are Colonial Marines. And our synthetic officer. Let's take a quick look at their attributes. These are the core numbers that will accent, that will be the foundation for any dice pools, any mechanics this game runs on. So we have 5, 3, 3, 3. That's going to give us 5 health. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and another 5. Our reluctant hero Space Marine, or Colonial Marine, 4, 2, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Our officer, 3, 8, 6. Oh, wait. 3, 3, 8, 6, 3. Now, just looking at this set of notes, remember, we're taking this workshop one step at a time. By simply doing this, what can this tell you about your party? Well, we're definitely strong. Strength is our strength. Where are we weak? Agility seems to be a weaker stat, with the exception of our officer, who very much is outstanding. Who do we know can take a hit? Oh, our foreman and our retiree. Just this simple act of taking the core stats can start giving you ideas for how to challenge them, right? Because you're also probing for weaknesses. But if you want to give them something as a team building exercise, throw a strength challenge at them. Now we can do something else. Now it's lined up like this this way. Maybe if I were to do it another way, I would actually put the names at the top and the and the skills and all that coming down this way. Because what we could also do is list our 12 skills. And what are our 12? Again, I'm going to move this off just so we can reference this here. We have, we'll start with strength. We have heavy machinery. Close combat. Stamina. Observation. Survival. Comtech. Medical aid. Manipulation. Command. Piloting. Let's see if I can reduce the margins to give me a little bit more space to work here. Layout, margins. There we go. Piloting. Mobility. By the way, now that I have more space too, I could write it out. But I just want you to see what I'm basically doing here. And ranged combat. Whoop. Okay. You see how we're looking now? And yeah, don't take your foam into foam parties. Now we can take a look at the skills. And if you want to lay this out differently, that's fine. I'm showing you a way to consider it. You don't have to mimic this exactly. If, I don't know, you might have an organizational brain that works differently than mine. Cool. Because this is your story to compose and share. You can do it your way. So we come back over to the roughneck here. And we are going to... how can I indicate this quick on the fly? Heavy machinery, we're going to indicate... Foreman 1. Uh-oh, Pesquetios. Hold on a moment, everyone. Welcome to the Creeple of Creepville, who have crept into our alien RPG storytelling, story building workshop. Welcome, darling Creep Show and the Creeple of Creepville. Thank you ever so much for your raid. Kagome's Fury, no stranger to the Hero Zone. I hope things are going well for you. And your art projects as well as your Zelda playthrough. Hello, it is great to see you. Yep, this is absolutely not a cult. Just like if you're interested in it, there was totally not a cult who were worshiping xenomorphs in a comic series. And that was interesting. Hello, welcome Raiders. So we are conducting a GM workshop. GM stands for Game Mother. Many other places have Game Masters. In Alien RPG, it's called Game Mother. Vancouver, hello. Goblin of Gygaxanor in here too. De Groon Denethor, it is a social club. Yes. And if you don't say it's, if you don't say that it is, things can happen. But not cult things, just social things. Social things. But hello, welcome all you raiders. I hope that you are doing well. Darling Creep Show, what was going on your channel? I see Dungeons and Dragons. Did that mean miniature painting? Did that mean play? Did that mean some of the other D&D and RP related? I'm shilling for your channel, by the way. Any of the other D&D role-playing and conversational cool hangout stuff that you do on your channel? Darling Creep Show? Twitch.tv/Darling Creep Show? Painting this... very good. Very good. Thank you for informing us. And for cross-moginating our communities, Darling Creep Show, DCXHZ is a classic crossover, a tale as old as time. You know that all of you creeps are very much welcome in the Hero Zone. And if you have questions about any particular workshop we're running, or whatever's going on, now, by the way, real quick, I guess some of you might be sleepy. It's 1:15. If you're here, we're primarily a workshop channel. On Saturdays, I broadcast from the store, as this is an extension of a friendly local brick-and-mortar game store. Saturdays, I usually broadcast from the store. This Saturday is our miniatures giveaway. I am giving away boxes of pre-painted minis. Fetid Ranger. Well, if you spend enough time out in the wilderness without a bath, it's gonna happen. So thank you for your ranging, even if you gotta hit the showers afterwards. So yeah, we're gonna be doing a great big giveaway. This is a very awesome, very generous community. We have giveaways, we have prize capsules, all kinds of things to put paint and dice and minis and books and all kinds of stuff. Plushies. Plushies on your tables as well. No sleepy here. Well, Goblin, I'm glad you're in it to win it then. And with Fetid Ranger joining us, we are now one follower closer. Not one cultist, one social club follower to 4,000 followers on Twitch. And when 4,000 of us have accumulated in one place, our great mother Tiamat will bless... Oh, that's sounding very cultish. After we reach the threshold to the liminality separating us from the great goddess Tiamat... I did it again. Anyway, after we hit 4,000 followers, I'm giving away a pre-painted Tiamat miniature, the size of a house cat, worth $400, and that includes free shipping to a U.S. address. I very much am thankful for all of you who make this place what it is. For those of you I've earned a follow from, I will. It is my way of saying thanks for it, and we hope to see you back, because all of us are contributing towards an amazing community here. And I am very grateful to you, Darling Creep Show, for bringing the creeps over. And if any of them are new, haven't heard of me, or have hung out, I'll try not to embarrass you too much. So I don't know if you got a dip, Darling Creep Show. If you're like, aliens, I'm all about the aliens, and you want to stick around, please do. But if you got a dip, trust that I will take good care of them. I have this really cool collection of eggs that I want to take the creeps and show them. It's going to be a blast. They're going to have a great time. Yes, less destructive on the battle mat than a house cat. Though, in character... Hey, it's Satirical Sage. By the way, Satirical, thank you for talking about the qualities of organic food and what goes into them, or rather, what can't go into them. These are the kind of eclectic table talk conversations that occur. Now, they're like Kinder eggs, Rep Artist. There is a surprise in every egg. And I promise everyone gets a prize. So what I'm doing tonight, I'm going through a methodology that I want to encourage all of you who have thought about running a game. It can be intimidating if you've not done it before or you've not done it a lot. And it's my job as an FLGS to teach you, to instill confidence, and to show you that it's actually kind of easy to do, and there's a couple ways to go about it. So we have all 4 of our character sheets, and by the way, in Alien RPG, every character, it's a 1-page character sheet. Okay? We have taken a piece of paper, and we are simply copying the vital information down from our character sheets. Our players have done the work for us. It's our job to collate the information and look for a pattern, because it's there. Sometimes we need a little help focusing on it. And our brains work in different ways. You might organize this information differently. But I at least want to show you what's possible so you can go back and do it in your own unique fashion. There are a lot of yellows, but all of those are overstuffed, and there is a storyline event in those capsules, Bane, with a lot of excellent prizes that lead us closer and closer to this Tiamat storyline event. So we wrote down our 4 characters up here. I realized afterwards I probably should have put the names up here and going down this way. All the same, we have our different skills, and I have this off to the side so you can see what I'm referencing, but I'm just going through and I'm writing down who has what in each of the skills, so we can look for elements of the group. And we're going to make what's called a SWOT report. Many of you might have heard that more in business terms or in business classes, if you've taken business classes. SWOT, S.W.O.T, stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And it's a very valuable tool for you as the GM to find challenges to throw at your group, to find ways to bring the party together through strife or difficulty, to challenge them, or to make sure that they can have some victories to savor. I think I almost said saber, like lightsaber, and I'm crossing my sci-fi genres up. So anyway, I'm going down through here. Close combat. Our foreman has a 2 in it. Stamina, foreman has a 1. Observation, none there. Survival, foreman 1. Comtech, medical aid, manipulation, command and piloting, and no mobility or ranged combat. Cool. Nice and easy. Let's go over to our Colonial Marine, our retiree brought back out of retirement in order to get the job done. What needs doing? So we don't have heavy machinery. We do have 2 close combat. So we can go, we'll go, we have retiree and reluctant. So I guess we'll go foreman. We'll do first and last to differentiate. Again, this is kind of it's a hasty sketch. If you want to do it in a different way, that's perfectly fine. So we have the foreman. We have no one else there. We have close combat is retiree 2. Stamina, retiree 1. Observation, retiree 1. Survival, retiree has a 1 in it. No comtech. Medical aid. No manipulation. No command. But we do have piloting, mobility, and ranged combat. Excellent. Let's move on. We're on our third of 4 characters here. Our reluctant hero, Colonial Marine, has 3 in close combat, 3 in stamina, one in medical aid, and 3 in ranged combat. Nice and easy. We're on the final character of this exercise. This can go very quickly, and remember, your players did all this work for you. All you're doing is taking the data and putting it into one place to sort through. Sort of like taking your Legos and you dump them out on the table and you look for things to build. These are the Legos. These are the Legos. All right, stamina 1 for officer. Observation. Medical aid. Manipulation. Command. 1 mobility and 3 ranged combat. Oh, for Red Foreman? Yeah. All right, have a good night, Led Snap, and thank you for hanging out. Now, from this might make a little bit more sense now that we have the space. What does this tell us? Let's just look at the skills. The skills to pay the bills. By the way, if highlighting or colors work for you, then there we go. Now, none of these have people with 0 skill in it, which is good. Otherwise, that might be like we might highlight that red or some other color you would associate with warning. Now, in this case, we have 2 skills that only have 1 person with any kind of extra ability in them. In this game, you can roll skills, or you can roll for a skill that doesn't have a modifier. It goes back to your core ability. And when you're building a dice pool, and you're looking for 6s on D6s, you want a big dice pool so you don't have to push your rolls. You don't have to stress out. You don't have to jeopardize things. Now, as we come up to a couple other skills, it looks like we have some that we have backup. It's a little safer. Yep. Now, there we go. That green, for whatever reason, I don't know why, green, unless my display is being weird and you're seeing it, green comes up like this. So I will make this pink, okay? It's a nice cheery color. We have backup. We're best friends forever. And these people can work on things together. Or if something unfortunate happens to a character, and I know in Alien RPG, what could happen to a character that might incapacitate them for a time? Red Foreman calling everyone dumb. I mean, he would definitely be driving the party and help keeping them on task, right? So here we have, maybe red for 0. If you want, you could go orange for 1. You could go yellow for 2, right? Because it's still cautious. If something happens, there's only one person who can do the thing. Whatever the color code works for you, there you go. Here we are. Look at this. 3 of our 4 party members can do the thing. Yeah, you all can still read that. That's a dark green. So here we go. Look at this. We're pretty safe with these skills. And now, look at this. Sky blue. The sky's the limit. Everyone on the team can at least get 1 bonus die to their dice pools for medical aid and stamina. And now what does this do for you? And I mean, if any of you out there have color blindness, work with your color palette and get however you can get the data to show up so it's easier for you to understand. You got it. Just because I have this color scheme doesn't mean it has to be yours. Well, now we can go back and say, all right, as a party, I, as the game mother, I, as the GM, can go, all right, if I have a theme running through the story about lending medical aid, every character can rally behind this, and every character is useful in this situation. So that's something that I can put as an overarching, maybe a goal in front of them. Because all of them can render at least some kind of medical aid to another person. Stamina, I can push them. If everyone has at least 1 bonus die to stamina, I can include themes that they might get through, but this is a form of pressure. I don't want it to be heavy pressure, but I want it to be light enough that things are going to continue forward that are going to tax their stamina because they can do this generally. And that's a way to gently urge people forward. Now, if you want to go on and create a particular challenge, then you put a conundrum that requires heavy machinery in front of the party. Because 1 person has at least some heavy machinery skill. And that is the foreman. The roughneck foreman. We create sort of a pinch. We create a bottleneck. This is a good chance to stress the party. I mean, in the ultimate good way, right? We're playing for the thrill and everything. The creature is chasing him down the hallway. The bulkhead door isn't moving. It is up to this one character to open the door so they don't die. And that's a way for you to highlight that character. And especially if it also comes to fixing Comtech. We gotta call in, we gotta call in security or whatever, right? The radio's busted. Looks like it's the foreman. And if something happens where the foreman is distracted or is incapacitated, well, everyone else can roll. They will only get to roll their wits. And wits is beyond, it looks like our retiree Colonial Marine might be able to jury rig something, having the highest wits of 4. Everyone else, it's not looking as good statistically. And so you can create these dramatic moments. And by the way, I forgot to do it up here. You can always go through and you can highlight if it helps you to see, if it helps you to process things, then you can always go through and we'll make that one, whatever the second highest is, we'll make that yellow. Yellow's not bad, but it's, it's not the highest. So some caution, you're not going to be as advantageous. The absolute lowest score, we can turn that red. Whoops, that one, these are red. The other one should have been yellow. But anyway, you can see what I was trying to accomplish here. In this case, we need 4 colors. So if we're sticking with that, I don't know, we can make it green or, again, whatever will stand out to you so that you understand it. This way you can color code if it helps you remember, if it helps you, process the information. That way you can see where the strengths and weaknesses are and who would be more apt at doing a thing. Heavy machinery is strength. I was talking about Comtech and trying to fix a radio. And trying to fix a busted radio. That's under wits. Remember, these notes are for yourself. If you think for some reason your players are going to judge you for taking some extra time in setting things up like this, or like, what are the colors? Oh, that's dumb. I'm not playing your game. Arguably, they're not your friend and they can actually leave. This is important for your reference, for you to provide the best story possible. And this is what's going to help you find those strengths and weaknesses which are internal to the party. These are things that just naturally come up. They can help these things. It is a part of the party. Opportunities and threats are external to the party. These are things that they cannot help. So giving them a stuck door about heavy machinery is would be a strength in them overcoming, right? Because one of them has a dice pool of 6, the other person has a dice pool of 5, even though they're not trained. So there might be a reasonable success to open the door, right? That's coming from within the party. You knew that, and so you're playing to the party's strength. If you're playing to the party's weakness, that's going to be empathy, moral decisions. And while everyone has a little bit of medical aid, that might come down to needing to manipulate people, command them. What if they're down here trying to save people and they're all too scared, making a bunch of noise, running around, causing drawing attention, creating a distraction that's not needed? That's going to be a weakness of the party. Now, with the exception of the officer, but the officer is the only one who has a really good dice pool for that. Awkward Mancer says, as the Chinese say, quote, sharpening the axe will not slow down chopping the wood. So go through and ask those questions. Do your fun little SWOT report, right? SWOT report. Strengths, internal. Actually, we'll do this. I'm running out of space. Strengths and weaknesses are internal to the party. Opportunities and threats are external to the party. These are things they can't help. A good opportunity for the party would definitely be in some sort of endurance. You need to try and manage to keep this ship going, despite bleeding out, resources, despite chilling temperatures, despite a lot of taxation on your survivability, kind of a thing. Well, I mean, the other things that the stamina skill leans into. More specifically, I'm sorry. That's an opportunity for them to prove themselves. A threat, something they can't help and would actually diminish the party. There's a lot of wits things could fall into that. But you can go through and ask those questions, and this is going to give you great ideas. They are each tools that you can use. Now, this is the first part that I wanted to present to you. It's been about an hour, so what we're going to do, let's get up and take a quick break. Again, thank you for all the raiders. If you stick around, I have one more quick exercise to show you that you can use this in D&D and Pathfinder. You can use this in A Time of War, which is a BattleTech RPG. You can use this in Alien RPG because the concept is the same. This one cool trick has GMs furious. Continue watching to find out what it is. And I'll be back in 5-10 minutes, everyone. I'm gonna get up, stretch a little bit. I am sated on my tea, so I'm gonna put this back in the fridge. I'm drinking some unsweetened jasmine green tea. It is delicious, but I don't want to have all of the bottle. And when we come back, again, blank piece of paper, and I want to show you another thing you can do to help make some connections. Yep, DMs hate it when you're not ready. All right, see you soon, everyone. Hold on tight.